case you haven't noticed, we are completed our 40-day journey. Now, I don't want to say completed or concluded, because really the journey never ends. We titled it as 40 days, but the journey has only started. As I explained in many times, the 40 days was to take off. Like an airplane that was on the runway, needs to accelerate, it takes off, and for 10, 20, 30 minutes till it gets to a certain altitude, the plane is taking off. So for 40 days we were taking off. Don't think for 1 second that's it, the 40 days we reach to the end, ding, 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 you get a balloon and a piece of cake, and you go home. That's not the point. If that's what you're doing, then you didn't waste 40 days, but you missed the point. The point is, a lot of people are asking, that's it, after 40 days, we're back to waking up at 9, right? And we're going to have a barbecue tonight, and we're back to normal, right? So I said, no, if you're back to normal, then what do you do for 40 days? You went on a diet to eat the cake again after the diet. So the 40 days were just, I will call it a jumping board or a runway to take us to a certain altitude. Of course, we were very intense with certain things that maybe we'll consider if to continue. But everything that we did the entire 40 days is to get you to do it on a daily basis. If we were saying Birkat HaMazon every day you have to say Birkat HaMazon. There's no discounts here. You're reading Tikkun HaKlali, Shir HaShirim, Perek Shira, Igeret HaRambam. Doesn't matter what you took on yourself. The point is to have it on a daily basis. We're not necessarily going to have now every day classes to dissect every little thing. We're definitely going to continue learning. But the point is not to take the 40 days as, okay, we did something, that's it, I'm going to get a certificate and I'm good to go. The point is to take what we achieved and to sustain it, minimum. The point is to grow, and we are going to continue. But don't go back, because if you go back, first of all, that's when the Yetzer Hara is waiting for you to have a drawback, to fall back. Because that's where he's going to get you. You had one day that you took a vacation, and that's where he's going to put the leg through the door. So first of all, and most important, the journey is till Mashiach comes, not till 40 days, 80 days, 120 days. Till Mashiach comes, or till Chas v'Shalom we leave this world. That's first of all. Most important is to take what we achieved and to continue with this. And to continue everything that we did, to do it on a daily basis. Now, besides that, we were thinking of doing another 40 days, another 120 days. So I decided what we're going to do is between now till Rosh Chodesh Elul, we are going to now start learning a lot of very interesting books. And we're going to focus on them for these next 2 weeks. We're going to learn the book of Tomer Dvorav, written by the Ramak. We're going to start learning Sha'arei Kedusha, Gates of Holiness of the Rabbi Chaim Vital. And we're going to focus on many things. We're going to do the entire Lashon Hara course, which we already started. We started learning already about the planet that is coming close to us, Kochav Yaakov, or as some people call it, Planet X. We're going to continue with this. We're going to learn about the entire civilization that lives under the ground, that was created by Adam HaRishon and Cain. We're going to learn many different things. There's certain things that I want to focus on that we were planning on learning for a while. We started some of the things, we didn't complete. I want to focus on a few things. One of them, we're going to make a course about the entire concept of Kaddish. A lot of people, they say Kaddish, they say Amen. They don't even know what they're saying. They don't even know what they're listening. Why we have so many different types of Kaddish. Half a Kaddish, a full Kaddish, a mourner's Kaddish, a Kaddish de Rabbanan. You have to make a whole course. What's Kaddish means, and why is it in Aramaic and not in Hebrew? And why you can't say Kaddish in English? If you don't speak Hebrew and you pray in English, how come you don't say Kaddish in English? So Kaddish is a very powerful thing that people who are not even observant, they come once a year to say Kaddish on their parents. We have to make a whole course on Kaddish. We talked about yesterday during Shabbat about the letters in our names, how to calculate the Milui Otiyot and all this. We're going to have another in-depth course about the letters of the names. Another things that we were talking about it for a while that we're going to want and we need to learn is all about the 4 elements of the spiritual and physical world. So there's a lot of material that we're going to set ourselves aside to start learning. It's not going to take 2 weeks, but we're going to start in these 2 weeks. So for the ones who are present here, then no problem. You have the schedule, you're local here. The ones who are watching the videos online, then you should go to the website. We'll have in the description and on the video the link where all the classes are, when the courses are starting, what's the schedule, what's the breakdown of everything. But we're going to focus on that a lot. We have to. And in Rosh Chodesh Elul, we're starting a 40-day journey of Slichot. We say 40 days Slichot before Yom Kippur. So on Rosh Chodesh Elul, we're going to take our next 40 days. And I thought of calling it the Tshuva Boot Camp. Somebody said maybe we should call it the Tshuva Reboot Camp. So, and the reason is because everybody wants to do Tshuva, everybody needs to do Tshuva, but very few people know how to do Tshuva. Very few people know how to do Tshuva. To put a yarmulke on your head and come 3 times a day to shul, that's very nice of you, but that's not how to do Tshuva. Tshuva has to be guided, has to be a step by step, and there's nothing like that. I went to 4 different yeshivot. Nobody ever taught me how to do Tshuva. They taught me how to learn Torah and how to pray. Even that barely. But how to do Tshuva, there's no step by step guide how to do Tshuva. Very, very important and needed. So we're going to start Rosh Chodesh Elul. We're going to have a countdown. Now we're in, what are we in today? Yud Bet. So we have almost 2 weeks before Elul. I mean, a little bit over 2 weeks. In these 2 weeks, we're going to focus on learning a lot of interesting things. There are a few other books that I really want to, for many, many years, I wanted to already teach them. And it's deep, important concepts that they're not being taught. Sharei Kedusha, I don't think anybody ever taught it or teaches it online, and there's no access to it. One of the most important, powerful books. It's a very thin book. It shouldn't take long to read it. I mean, when we learn it thoroughly, it will take a little bit longer. But highly, highly recommended and a must read. So in these 2.5 weeks, and of course it's going to go into after that, but we're going to take a lot of new topics to learn. I highly recommend to join and to participate in all this. It's very, very important. There's a few other books. I mean, there's a lot of books that I would want to learn, but then it will take us 10 hours a day. So I'm going to choose the ones who I believe are the most important and the most useful. So some of them will not be from books, but like I told you, the elements, the structure of our name with the letters, all that has to do with that, Kaddish, and many other things, so we can build some type of a foundation of Torah learning, so I have a very wide, broad understanding on many concepts. And then in Rosh Chodesh Elul, Bezrat Hashem, we'll start our Tshuva Boot Camp. We'll make a countdown now in 18 days, 17 days, 16 days. And then we'll do a real serious, I would rather call it a boot camp than a reboot camp, because there's nothing to reboot. If there's nothing old, how you reboot it? Better to do right from the beginning. Bezrat Hashem, march with that till Yom Kippur, and then really walk into Yom Kippur mastering the concept of tshuva, Bezrat Hashem. So just to conclude, the 40 days are not concluded. The 40 days are just to get momentum and to keep us in a certain altitude. My recommendation is don't go back to sleep now. Take the momentum that we achieved in the 40 days and go with it and continue with it. And don't slowly start removing things, because the whole point is to climb higher and higher and higher and to continue growing and growing. And Bezrat Hashem will do many more interesting things. The one thing that I want to conclude is that we finished the 40th day with a big statement of En Od Milvado. We read that now in Parashat Vayetchanan, אתה רואה את הלדעת, כי האדוני הוא האלוהים, אין עוד מלבדו. One of the most powerful verses in the Torah. And Hashem, that we come out with the statement, you, the Master of the universe, have shown us that God is Hashem hu Elokim. En od milvado. There's nothing but the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Really, this is the focus on what we need to have as our drive. Every day it has to be the how do you say, motto that drives us. En od milvado. You have to think it, say it, believe it, breathe it, that everything is en od milvado. So we barely touched even what it means en od milvado. We spoke a little bit. There's nothing but Him. But many questions were asked. What does it mean? It means that there's nothing else, that we don't exist and there's only Hashem. What does it mean? We're going to have to learn a little bit more in depth throughout another thing to add for these 2 weeks. What does it mean en od milvado? But for now, the simple explanation is that there's nothing but the Kadosh Baruch Hu. No presidents, no kings, no prime ministers, no nothing. The Master of the universe He's the only one that controls everything. I can't put my trust not in, even in the American dollar it says in God we trust. I can't put my trust in anything. I only trust the Kadosh Baruch Hu. I only put all my faith, all my trust. Usually they say don't put your eggs in one basket. Spread them around. But when it comes to Hashem, it's only one basket. It's only the basket of Hashem. I only trust in the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Not chas v'shalom, no offense, not that I don't trust you. Well, some of you I don't really trust, but I trust the Kadosh Baruch Hu. I put all my faith in Hashem. I don't count on anybody, I don't count on any organization, any establishment, not the bank, not the government. En od milvado, it's only the Kadosh Baruch Hu. But we're going to learn more in depth really what it means. In the meantime, what I want you to do, for a few good friends of ours have initiated something very special. When I started pushing the en od milvado, then I said it half serious, half not. I said you have to wear it on you. I said in the beginning, write it on your wall, and then I said wear it on you. So a few good friends of ours went and took it literally, and they printed shirts, hats, all sorts of clothing that says big, En od milvado. And now we want everybody to go and wear them. So I don't know all the details at this point. I can tell you already, you can either go to the Atzmut website, but not to the .com, to the .org. I think the page is atzmut.org/En od milvado. Or just go to the site. I'm sure it's there one way or another. Or on the atzmut.org, there's the place where you order all the CDs and everything. I think the / is shop or whatever. You go to the site, you'll see, and you'll see all the shirts, the hats. But the point is that you want to start wearing it on you. You want to walk in the street and people are saying, what is this? En od milvado. That I wear it on me proudly. Like we talked about before, you hang a mezuzah, then we have to start having instead of putting Nike and just do it, or all sorts of other emblems, it should be a statement, En od milvado. The people will ask you, what is this? There's only one God. There's only God. So this is going to be the next action we need to take, is to literally wear it on us. Some people write on the yarmulke things. That I don't really recommend. But I did see people that are writing on the yarmulke, En od milvado. Better than to write nonsense. Some people write junk and nonsense on the yarmulke. But the point is to wear it and to make a statement. To say En od milvado. And we're going to go deeper to learn what it means, En od milvado. But once you really understand that our part is to advertise that En od milvado, is to advertise that there's only one God, one existence, then we have to do it full force. We have to put it on our clothes, on our doors, on our walls, on our car, wherever it is. And Bezrat Hashem, then we really advertise what it means, En od milvado, which is the ultimate goal is to advertise to the entire world, don't put your trust in humans, don't put your trust in governments, don't put your trust in your financial institute. You put your trust in the Kadosh Baruch Hu. It says, Baruch HaGever Shivtach B'Hashem, blessed is the man who trusts Hashem, Baruch HaGever Shivtach B'Adam, damn is the man who trusts another man. You have to trust only the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And to scream out loud, En od milvado. En od milvado. So now you can scream it, and now you can even wear it. En od milvado.